Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday Buzzin' with Barb Live. My name is Barb Ryder. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here this evening to share some beautiful projects with you. I know it takes a few minutes for everyone to jump on here, so when you're here, let me know. I see a few of you have jumped on. Hello, hello, hello. And I hope, let me turn this down so you guys aren't hearing my phone. I'm just making sure everything's working. Looks like it is. All right. So another week's gone by. Hope you guys are all doing well as you join. Like I said, let me know who's here. I'd love to see. Hi, Sue, and hi, Taryn. Hello there. If you are watching the replay on Facebook, let me know. If you're watching the replay on my YouTube channel, which is simply Barb Ryder, uh, tell me that too. Hi, Bobby. I am doing well. I'm doing well. Um, so as everyone's jumping on here, we have two projects, but we've got one that is a fun fold and another one that is a kind of a fun technique that I hadn't heard of until we made it one of our swaps for our team swaps. Hi, Sue. Thank you for sharing, you guys. I do appreciate that you share the video with your friends or other groups that you're allowed to share demonstrators with. That helps the whole get me out there, I guess. So, and again, if you are watching on YouTube, a thumbs up really will help get the videos out there because I know I even have people on my team that don't have Facebook, but they're on YouTube. So anyway, welcome you guys. So I am going to take a look here one more time. Hi, Nancy. I don't know if I said hello to you. I saw that you jumped on here. Well, this is so crazy. Once I scroll down to see who is on, there we go. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to move to the next thing, which is I have some gorgeous, hi, Margaret. I have some swap cards from our team, and the theme was fun folds. So I want to share those with you. I also have a really pretty card from a friend, a team member that sent me. We love this suite, and I haven't shared much about the suite yet because I just haven't had time. Honest to goodness, I haven't had time to really play with it, but it'll be happening soon, that's for sure. So here I'm going to go ahead and again, welcome. Let me know that you're here. Thanks for sharing, you guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Let's turn the camera down and see what we've got going on here. Okay. And let's see. There we go. You see, I'm going to adjust this light a little bit. There we go. All right, so I'm going to just share some cards first with you. I'm up here in the corner. And then we've got two projects that are really cool. So here is the first card. This is from Sue Somerville, and this is using an online only suite. It's got some amazing designer paper, the images. Let's see, I thought I brought the stamp set over here. Did I? No, I didn't. Anyway, you'll have to check it out. It's an online exclusive, and check out that whole suite. It's really nice. So there's one card. Let's see. Let's move this over here. All right, so here are some fun folds from our team swap for, I believe, last month. Yeah, for March, for our March team meeting. This is a kind of wiper card, that's what it's called, and you pull these sides and then your image pops out at the top there. See that? Isn't that cool? This is from Lynn. This was Lynn's. Hi, Lynn. And this really cool little dinosaur guy. He's so fun. Um, this is I don't know what you call a step easel card. There you go, from Donna. This one is from Linda. I kept them with envelopes, some the ones that I got in the mail, because sometimes I can't remember and it goes a while. Hi, Jeanne. I know these are fun folds. Um, Isn't that funny? Fun fold. Anyway, there you go. This one has a pop-up in the center there. Isn't that great? This is from Linda. This one is a slide, kind of a slide surprise. I don't know what the actual name of it is, but that's that coffee set that I really like. I shared a card with this one just recently, but you pull this little right here, you pull that, and then it gives you a whole new picture. Isn't that great? This is Nancy's card. This was Nancy's swap. This one I believe was Taryn, and she loves to color. She loves to fussy cut. So she did some coloring on this pretty one. And there you open it. You've got your message right there. But that's not all. You flip it over and she's got the back where you can also put your message there. Okay? So fun. Can you see she stamped the mixed media um, florals? That is an online bundle also. Make sure you go to my website right up here and whoops, wrong way. There you go. I don't know where I'm going. There's a delay. Anyway, go to my website and you can and click your filter when you shop now. Click your filter. Hi, Shar, and it will. You can do online exclusives or just online instead of clicking shop all. If you go right to online, then you can see all the things that you can only get online. This one is Sue's card, and she did, can you see the sparkle there? She did a little wink of Stella with a tiny bee right there, so cute. And then it opens up and you can put your message on the inside like that. And this is cool because it folds and you can put it in an envelope, regular envelope. This one is from Sue, another Sue, Sue Reed. She is kind of been orphaned and we've known her a long time, so she was at our meeting and hopefully she'll get to come to some more. She lives a little ways away, but I'm thankful that she drives to see us. So anyway, this one is like that, and then you open this up and you have this fun fold right here. Isn't that nice? So cool. This one is from Donna. This was, I think, oh, you know what? This was our card from the month before. This was one from a month before, but look at how beautiful this is. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. This one is a fun fold because it is an easel card. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? Stands up. And this is that hibiscus set. I believe that this one's an online also. Beautiful. We have two more. This one is from Maria. And this particular card is using those. I did not get this set, but it's so pretty and bright and fun. Open it up like this, and you have this beautiful pop out in the center. And we have one more. This is my fun fold. This is using that Meant to Be new paper and stamp set that goes with our punch. But you have your little piece here that opens, and then this opens like that. And I think I got this design from, I think I got this kind of layout from Rhonda Wade. So there are some fun cards, some fun folds. I hope you like those. Hi, Sue Rollison. Thank you for joining us. All right, what am I going to share tonight? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some things that are going to be leaving us probably. And the first one is on page 41. This is using the Wildly Flowering bundle. I'll be using the bundle. I actually am not using the dies, but I have I can show you the dies when I show you the stamp set. In the layout, we'll be using the designer paper. We're also going to be featuring some outgoing in colors, the Moody Mauve. And we're going to coordinate with this paper is what it is. But this is all still available. You can get the whole suite collection for $78, which is the stamp set, all these dies, and these are gorgeous dies. The folder and the gems in that suite for the 78, or you can buy them all separately. All right, so there is that first card. We're going to be using that one. I'm going to move this over here. All right, let me get myself situated in my chair so I can stamp and share with you guys what we have. All right, we're going to feature some markers tonight. I don't use the markers a lot, but we are going to feature those. And this is the 2023 to 2025 in colors. These are still available. I did look them up. Their number is 161695 and they're $17.50 for the markers. And that's Wild Wheat, Moody Mauve, Copper Clay, Boho Blue, and Pebble Path. Anyway, I said I would share with you. I could share with you. Let me get this so it's not my picture that I'm looking at is a little delayed, so that's why it's going back and forth. See if I can raise this up a little bit. Anyway, you've got 3 different sentiments. You've got a background stamp and then some flowers. And with those dies, here they are up close. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cutouts, and then you've got the flowers that will cut out the images when you stamp them. Okay, so let me put this over here. Let me grab all my parts and pieces. Now, I said that this is a fun technique, and this technique is called 5-3-1. All right, and Taryn suggested this for our swap, and so I decided why not share what I'm going to do for my swap and create this technique layout for you guys. All right, let's see. So what do I have? Let me get all these pieces that I already pre-did here and show you what I've got. So all I did and what I do all the time is I really look at the designer paper and I pull all my colors from the designer paper when I'm going to create. Hello, Carol. Thanks for watching. What I have is I have a basic white, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, that's going to be my card base. It's going to be landscape style. All right. Then I have a piece of Moody Mauve, and this is 3.5 by 5. No, let's see. Yeah, 3 3/4, guys. 3 3/4, because this doesn't go to all the way to the end. So it's 3 3/4 by 5, Moody Mauve. Then I have a piece of Wild Wheat, and that is 4 1/4 by 3 inches. And then my 5, here's the 5 of our layout. I have 5 pieces of designer paper, and these are 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/4. Okay, so we're going to be putting those down in just a second. All right, so there's what I have. Now I have taken our floral punch. That's not, now you guys might have heard that we have a beautiful list of punches in our new catalog coming up, but right now we don't, not in the current. And I don't know what the name of this punch is. I do not have it labeled like I should, but it is available. And let's see, I did not write it down. I'm looking at my little notes. What I need, I've already got them punched, but I'm going to go ahead and punch some more. So what I need is I need 1 large, and then I'm going to come over here to the side, so, and just like that, and I'm going to get 2 of the small. So I'm going to make a trio of flowers. But I have a little technique. You might have seen this before, but this is always a great technique to give yourself some dimension. Before we start stamping, I just thought I would do this. So here are the 3 pieces that I punched out. And if you don't have this take your pick tool, I don't know why you don't. It is the best tool ever. I've said that for a long time. Petal Park Punch. Thank you, Jeanne. I appreciate that so much. I'm going to use the tip. I'm going to leave the tip on this end where the putty is at. And I'm going to lay my flowers down, and I'm just going to take the center, take the tip of this, and I'm just going to push down on my foam mat. Okay, this is my Stampin' Pierce mat, or whatever I don't know what it's called these days, but basically I'm just pushing it down so my flower gets some dimension. See that? And so I'm going to do that for each one, and just going to push straight down and straight down, right like that. So there I have dimension. Let me see if I can, you'll see it once we put it on the project, but anyway, there you go. You can see the dimension. Excuse me. All right, so I need that, and let's see, what do I have? I need, these are going to be my 3 out of our 5, 3, 1 technique or layout, whatever way you want to call it. So there's 1 and 2 and 3. All right, I already squished those down, so I've got those 3. All right, now let's go ahead. On the inside of the card, we are going to do some stamping. So we're going to do that before we go forward with these guys. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to use markers, and we are going to stamp. I forgot to put this on a block. We're going to use this flower right here, that one. And let me grab a block. I don't know if it'll fit on this or not. Yeah, I guess it will. There we go. Alrighty. And let's go ahead. We're going to use our markers, and we're going to color on the cling stamps. Alrighty. So I'm going to use the Moody Mauve and the Wild Wheat. I'm going to use those 2 colors. That's what I have on the front. I thought about using Pebble Path, but I think I'm going to stick with these 2 colors. Who else joined? Thanks so much, you guys. I'm glad that you're here tonight. So when you're coloring with your markers, always use your brush tip end. And if you look, you've got the fat on this side. You've got the skinny line on this side. And what that tells you is that this is the skinny tip and this is the brush tip. We're going to use the brush tip, and I'm going to bring this in. I'll come up a little closer to the camera, and I'm just going to use the side of my marker and swipe it on the image, and I'm going to come up here into the tips of these into the flowers, and then I'm going to see if you can see. Can you, there, you can see a little, wait, I'm too close. There we go. See the wet? See how you can see the wet, it's wet? Well, that's what you want. Okay, so I've got that color. Now I'm going to go with the Moody Mauve brush tip end, and I'm just going to color the flowers. Okay, so come in here, and I'm paying attention to where my flower hits the tip of that wild wheat, because I don't want to go into the wild wheat. I would just want to go just like where, to the edge of it. Now the other part of all this is that you can see that it looks like it dries just a little bit. So what you do is you just put some hot air on there, and you go and re-moisten it, and then you stamp that down. And here, I'll bring this up, you can see the 2 tones in my stamping, mauve and wild wheat. Now, if you wanted to color this a little more, you could do 2 things. You could use your blender pen to really pull that mauve around, or you can use your Wink of Stella. I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm also, let me clean this off really quick. Okay, got that. All right. So that's what I want there. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Maudie Mauve. I said Maudie Mauve. No. Moody Mauve. That's the correct name. Oh my gosh, isn't that funny? All right, done with the markers. Now we're going to go to the ink pad. And listen, if you have not gotten the colors that you love in these in colors, make sure you get them, because when the retiring list comes out, they're going to be gone. Okay, so you don't want to miss those. I'm going to set this aside, and now we are going to pull in my scrap paper, And we're going to pull this piece of Moody Mauve in. And we're going to take this cool kind of textured look. I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp around the outside of this. And I'm kind of moving it so it's not going to look the same all uniform. I don't want it to be uniform. Okay, there. And so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just inking it up and stamping mostly around the edges, okay? Like that. And all I'm doing is giving it a little extra design. Looks a little more textured when I add this layer in the middle there. Okay, can you see? That's looks kind of boring, but that's okay. We're gonna zhuzh it up a little bit, right? Okay, done with that one. All right, let's close our Moody Mauve. Let's see. Do I want Moody Mauve? I'm trying to think really quick here. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to use a marker to do the sentiment or this. I want to wait till I get this put together and see what I think. Okay, this is going to go onto the front of our card, and I am going to center this. I think I got it pretty centered. Don't need that anymore. Move that out of the way so you can see better. So there's that. Now I'm going to go with my wild wheat. That's going to go in the center, just like that. Can you see the texture design around the edges there? It just gives it that extra level of texture. Now I've got these 5 pieces. It doesn't really matter. I just need to make sure that I put them down so that they are somewhat give me a little bit of space in between so I can see that wild wheat, okay? Oh my gosh, no, I guess I didn't. I thought I might have put it down exactly how I cut it, but I didn't. That one looks like it matches, but anyway, so I'm pretty close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start to lay these down. I'm going to grab my silicone mat, and again, this is one of my basic stamper kit items, always using my silicone mat. Okay, so I want about, that looks about right. Okay, so there's that. Let's see if I make sure I'm doing this. I want to make sure I'm pretty equal there. Okay. All right, this is the boring part. All right, I'm going to actually, I'll tell you guys, so you can start voting. I don't know which gems to use for the center of my flowers. And so I'm going to show you what I kind of picked out. There we go. Let me show you the 3 that I've picked out, and I want you to tell me which one you think. These are going to be for the center of the flowers. And keep in mind the colors that we're using here. And then one last one. I have 3 different ones. So tell me which ones you think. I'm going to move these here. I've got, these are the iridescent foil gems. I don't know how well you can see those in the light though. Let's see if I can come over here. I don't know. The iridescent foil gems. These are the gold textured adhesive back dots. Okay. And then last but not least, these are the tinsel gems, and I'm thinking of this is pink. It doesn't look too pink in the camera, but there you can see they're more pink. These are pink, and I thought they might work. So tell me what you which one you like, and I will take a look as after, you know, how you voted when I get ready to put these flowers on here. But for the meantime, we're going to get these strips laid down so that I have them pretty even to make our 5 pieces. This is our 5 of our 5-3-1 layout. All right, so right there. Okay, and one more. Gold. I have a vote for gold. So gold, pink, or sparkle. There you go. Gold, pink, or sparkle. And my last of the 5. Alrighty. So there's my layer. And that wild wheat just pops out because the centers of these are the wild wheat. Tinsel gems, gold, gold, 2 for gold. Oh, three for gold. All right. Okay. Now let's put these little flowers together. I am going to use my mini dimensionals here. And I'm going to actually put some dimension in between these flowers. So I'm going to put a small dimensional in the middle of there. You like the foil dots? Hi, Nancy from Wisconsin. Gold, tinsel. Oh, wrong one. I got to have the middle one. Okay, now I'm going to add this middle flower in here on that gem. It's just going to give this just enough dimension to this flower to give it, anyway, to make it pop. And then one more. And that goes there. And let's put this little flower on there. Okay. I am going to go ahead and just put adhesive on the back of the flower because we've got dimension in the flower pieces itself. All right. And so we are going to do one right here. And let's go ahead with some more. So it looks like the foil dots or the gold. So what we'll do, we'll take a look after I get these flowers on here, and let's see which one looks the best. I thought, oh, I've got lots of choices here. All right, so this flower is going to go here, and the last, whoops, Barb, you need some adhesive on this part. It won't stick on your paper. There we go. All right, let's pop this down. This one's going to go about right here. Alrighty. And one more. So I think I'll do this first. We'll put this down first. And it'll just keep going down. Let's go right here. And there's the dimensional. This seems fussier than I thought. Thank you, Nancy. I'm glad you like it. So this is what we call, I'm not sure where Taryn would know who the original idea came from. She's suggested it. I just don't know. Okay, so there's that. All right, so there's our flowers. So let's take a look. Here are the gold, so we'll check those out. And then here are the foil. If I can get them out of here. Now these foil, they actually, if you have some in your possession, whoa, you'll see that there's a little bit of like pink like color in them. And so let's see if I can come up by the camera closer. So that's what it would be in the middle. You can't, I mean, they're very subtle and smaller. Let's see these. Let's see the gold. I'm thinking the gold might be the best choice just to bring out that wild wheat. Oh, look, that fits there much better too. So, alrighty. And I had a stray foil pop over here on the gold. I need to put back on the foil sheet. Oh, goodness. Turn over there. Such fussy things. Little fussy things. Okay, there we go. Stay. Like it can hear me, right? Okay, let's move this out of the way and let's put our dots on here. And then we'll stamp our sentiment and finish it with our sentiment. Alrighty, so let's get this putty out of here. And I'm going to go with the big ones because these, oh, this looks really nice, you guys. The gold really pops. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? There's that. All right, and then let's stamp our sentiment and we will finish this card. Now, what I wasn't sure of is what color I wanted to do that in. See, that's going to fit right in there. And actually, let's just stick with the mauve. So it's going to be dark enough. And where's my strip of paper? Right here. I wasn't sure if it would fit on this skinny piece. So let's try it. And if I can't get it to work, guess what? We're going to go to a fatter one. But I really want it to work on this skinny. So let me see if I can make it work. Okay, that's right at the bottom. Okay. All right, let's see. I don't know. It's just a little bit. I'm going to try one more time and see if I can make it work. One more time. If it doesn't, no, it's not. It's too skinny. So let me get the wider one. I have a wider one here somewhere. Right here. Just a little bit. Okay. Alrighty, let's go with that. There we go. That works. Okay. And, excuse me. I'm going to clean this off before I get my hand in it, my arm in it. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like that. But, so, here we are with our last piece. Now, I'm going to cut this off, and I'm just going to use my scissors because it's a small enough piece. I'm okay that I should be able to get it pretty straight there. And let's see, should I leave that? Guess what? It's got to go in there just like that. I think we'll just do that flat because those flowers stick up so far. I think this works great flat. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this in here. Hang on. There we go. I'm going to slide this in underneath my flowers and get that as close as I can, kind of like that. Beautiful. Look at there. There's our card. So this is 531. 5 strips of designer paper, or you could, you had the choice of running them through an emboss folder. Okay, so 5 strips of 3/4 by 2 3/4. 3 designs, whatever, and then 1 sentiment, and that was the 531 idea. And then in the inside, we have our stamped flower to kind of coordinate with the front. So that's our first card. What do you think of that card, you guys? I know you guys already commented, several of you, that you thought it was pretty. I'm glad you liked it. Awesome stuff. Alrighty. So the next one is a fun fold. Let me bring, I don't know if I brought it up close enough. You see that? It looks so pretty. All right. The next card we're going to do, let me move these things out of the way so I can get to what I need here. Let me grab my catalog. I'm going to show you the next item stamp set we're using. It is in the annual catalog. And again, remember guys, this is going away. I don't know what's going to be on the last chance. I don't know what's going to go to the online store, all those good things. But these, I'm going to miss these. If they don't go in the new catalog, I'm going to miss them. Here's the Coffee with Friends. I'm on page 93. Coffee with Friends. I love that. So Sincere is great sentiments. And Courage and Faith stamp set. That's just scripture verses, which is great. This set is called You Are Beautiful. And that's what we're going to use for our next card with this fun fold. And this comes just like just a stamp set. Anyway, so check those out in the annual catalog and see what you think. And they give you some ideas in there too. I'm going to grab a drink of water really quick. All right. My hands are cold. Um, just one second. There we go. That's better. All right. Okay. So this next card, you guys, is actually done by my sweet friend Lynn Dunn. She's who I looked at her um tutorial, and I put my own twist on it a little bit, and I created this awesome cross card that's been kind of out there in the world of YouTube land, but I put my own twist on it with the trust in the Lord and this little sprig. The fun part about this, you turn it over and there's where you write your sentiment, okay? And this way, this can go to the right or to the left, and it fits in a regular envelope. It's so pretty. Okay, so let's get started on this one. All right, grab all my parts and pieces here. You're going to start out, this is Lemon Lolly, and this piece is 7.5 by 4.25. It is scored at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6. Okay, so you're going to score that. This piece is 7.5 inches long. You're going to score it 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6. Okay, that's our base. The other pieces that you're going to need, I'm just going to tell you those right now. This is pecan pie, and I just, like I said, I pulled from the cardstock. This is, do I have this out? I don't know. It's the Delightful Wishes, I think, I believe that's the name of the paper. So this pecan pie is 4.25 by 4 inches. Okay, 4.25 by 4 inches. Then you have a piece of white that's going to be 4 by 3.75. Okay, so that's going to layer onto that. And here's what else you need. You need another piece of Lemon Lolly that is 3.75 by 1.25. You need 2 pieces of basic white, 1.25 by 4 inches. Okay, you need 2 of those. You need 2 pieces of floral designer paper, and these are 1 inch by 3.75. So 2 of those. Okay. You need 1 piece of designer paper, and this is all from this is the back side of the Delightful Wishes, I think is the paper. But this is kind of looks like textured wood, maybe. You could even take the if you have the wood folder, the emboss folder, you could do that. I didn't buy the cross set that's on the online exclusives, and so this works out really good. So this one piece is 1 inch by 3.75. And then another piece of designer paper of the same is going to be 3/4 of an inch by 3.25. Can we make one of the cross cards at your next meeting? I don't know, Taryn, maybe. And then I've got 2 pieces of pecan pie. This one is 1 inch by 3.5. And this is 1.25 by 4 inches. Okay, so that, oh, yeah, I told you this piece already. Okay, so that's all the pieces. I didn't have them all written down on a piece of paper and stuff, but again, Lynn Dunn, Stamptastic Designs is her website, I believe, and she has a free tutorial there. She does hers a little bit different than what I'm doing, but I love that we have that option to do it, you know? Okay, so let's move that out of the way. So, scrap paper I will need here. I need a piece of scrap paper. First thing we're going to do, the important part about this is when you're putting this on, let me make sure, but the wider side is what's going to go. See, this is 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4 goes side to side. So 4 1/4 goes left to right. I want to make sure that's what I got. Yep, 4 1/4. Okay. So what that means is I need to stamp here. So let's get our markers. Remember I said we're going to be using markers today. I have pecan pie, crushed curry, and old olive. And that's going to pull out the colors in my designer paper that I've chosen right here. So the first thing is, I said we're going to use this fun stamp right here. We're going to do our lightest color first, which is crushed curry. And my little floral berries, or whatever you want to call them, those are going to be crushed curry. And then pecan pie will be the stems. And again, I am using the brush tip end and just coloring the stem. And then last, I'm going to use the old olive and just color these leaves, okay? Now this stamp set is a little bit distinctive, meaning it gives you some design in the stamp as it's cut. So there's that. And remember, when you're using your markers, they look like they dry up, but you have to kind of re-moisten them there. And then I'm going to stamp this right here in the corner. Okay, so that's going to go on the back of our card, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that down onto here right now. Hello, hello. I see some new people join. Thanks for being here, you guys. All right, so here is this. Goes just like that. Okay, so we're going to use that in a few minutes. Now, I'm not going to clean this yet because actually, let's just do this one more time before I clean it. I need to stamp one and fussy cut it out. Now, a lot of people have been using the, like I said, other cross sets that you might have, and they have used this as an Easter card and put "He is risen" on here. I did not buy, I don't have the current set, so that's why I didn't go that route. And plus, I love this stamp set, and it's been a while since I featured this in any of my lives, so there we go. And re-moisten. And let's stamp that here so I can fussy cut that and clean this off. Now, excuse me. Before we finish up here, we're gonna do Trust in the Lord, and I have just a piece of scrap white. Oh, no, Barb, don't use that. Golly molly, that strip that I had. Where are you, strip? I had a strip of white here, long strip of white. I don't see it. Hang on. I got to use that to stamp my sentiment. All right. Here, I've got a piece over here. Gosh, I almost used my piece that I need on my card here. All right, so this says it's a whole scripture verse, and I'm just going to use trust in the Lord, okay? I just thought that was appropriate for the cross. Here's the other thing. This can be used for, let's say that you have a baptism, somebody has a baptism. This is a great card that you could do for that. You could use any sentiment. How about hope or faith? Those words will be great. All right, I'm going to stamp this on here because I'm just going to cut around that, and that's going to go on the front of our cross. So the stamping is really the hardest part. Once you get all your pieces cut, stamping is the hardest part. I know this is boring, but it won't take too long for me to cut through this. And all I'm doing really when I fussy cut this is I'm just kind of going around the words, not right up to it, so that there is some white. All right, so there's that. And you know, I try not to be so like exact or precise when I'm doing this fussy cutting. Sorry, I got out of the camera there. Because it's okay. It doesn't have to look, it shouldn't look perfect. You know, this is a handmade card. This is your own hand cutting for this beautiful saying. And there you go. Almost done. See, it doesn't take too long. Now, of course, you could stamp this and put this on a die cut. Use one of the dies, you know, stylish shape dies probably would fit in there. There's lots of dies that we have that would work. Oh, the new rectangles that go with the textured notes that I shared with you, that stamp, that bundle. There's beautiful rectangles in there with stitching. That would probably work too. Let's see. I use the stamp set Unbounded Love for the greeting, hope, love, and faith. Oh, that sounds nice, Jeanne. That would work great. All right, so we need this little guy, and then I think this floral piece is harder to cut out than the words, but here we are almost done. And like I said, I think fussy cutting is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, of the whole card once you have all the pieces cut to size. All right, come around here. And I am going to come inside, down in here a little bit because there's a lot of white space there. So I am going to bring that around. Sorry if I get out of the camera. I'm just kind of getting closer to my eyes so I can see. All right, there we go. All right, that's done. Okay, there's that. All right, so here we go. Remember we had these scored. So what we need to do is we have the middle one is going to be mountain, as they call it. The end pieces will be valleys. So like that. See that? So what's going to happen is this is going to stand up like this. Okay? So before we use the bone folder and do that, let's go ahead and put our designer paper and everything down. So on the far outside, the two outside pieces, we're going to go ahead and put our white, because really it's just a layer to showcase the designer paper that's going to be laid on here next. Okay, there's that one. And how many watching me, how many of you have you tried this? There's different demonstrators out there that actually have done different styles of this besides this one here. So there's different ones that are out there. All right, now we're going to use our floral pieces, and that's going to go. This does have a right side up, so I made sure to get the right side up here. Let's go up here, and this one goes over here. Just center it right in that white so that you're uniform. Okay, so there's what you have now. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is this piece is going to get glued right here in the middle. Okay, so you only want glue right in the middle. So I'm just going to take my adhesive and we're going to put this down first. Okay, so you want to put this piece down before you do anything to create the cross with these pieces. Okay, and so just kind of center that between the two sides. Okay, trying to make sure. Okay, so that looks pretty good right there. Okay, push that down. All right, so there's what you got. That's what you got so far. Okay, let's take the bone folder, which I should have done before I put that on. I was not thinking, but I do want to score this so it's a little bit. Let's see if I can get this. Let's do this. There we go. Turn it over, score that. Let's turn this one over and score that. That's not too bad. There we go. Okay. Now, here's the part. You're going to take this piece and you're going to layer that onto. So you have the larger designer paper onto the larger pecan pie. I would like a piece of pecan pie about right now. How many of you like pecan pie? Okay, and then next, excuse me, we're going to take this one, and this is going to go on the skinnier pecan pie, kind of centered there. All right. Now this is going to go across, onto the tall, what do I want to say? I don't know what I want to say. This goes right here, just like that. Okay, and then this is only going to, no, that's glued all the way. Never mind. It does go flat on the whole thing. All right, so then that's going to get centered here. Okay, so there you are. You've got your cross like that. Okay, so now we're ready to put the back on. And what you're going to do is you want this so that it's going to have a little bit of edging on either side. So just be aware of that. So I'm just going to put adhesive on the very edges, okay? Just like that. And then what you want to do is, if you kind of get this, if you do it like this, and having this on here is going to actually help make it a little more sturdy. I think what I'm going to do, see, if you make this kind of the right box, does that make sense? Okay. Then you can figure out how far over you want to go. But I think it's about that much. So kind of just hold it there and then see if this makes it work. Oh, I know that I know what the trick is. Hang on. Let's see. How did she do that? She did this right here. Okay. This is what she did. I remember from the video. She took this and she folded it so like it's going to go in the envelope. And then that's where, see, I'm way over too far on this side. So let's take this off. Ooh. All right. And if you take this now and you and you put this where you have matching borders, or the border all the way around, I guess I'm up a little bit low. Okay, so there you go. Just like that. When you open it, it's going to be where it's supposed to be. All right. See that? All right. Now, that way, when you do it that way, it's going to fold into your envelope. I hope that makes sense, you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to add this with some adhesive. And because this is a smaller piece, you use this. Okay. Let's get this piece. I'm just going to put it mostly on the little berries there. And that's going to kind of go right over here. Just like that. And then you can take your liquid glue, you can pop it up with dimensionals. I did it flat, just with my adhesive, and used my silicone mat so that, there we go. And then this is going to fit right here. Now I should have put my words on before, you know what I did? I put trust in the Lord with. We don't need the word with. Goodness gracious. All right, we're going to cut that off. All right, let's cut that off. There we go. Trust in the Lord. That's what I'm like. It's not fitting. I knew it was supposed to fit. There we go. Now we are in business. And our card is complete. All right. Isn't that pretty? And again, fold it this way. If you wanted to, you could put more floral paper, in here if you would like. Um, just so when it's folded, you see that. Otherwise, isn't that gorgeous? And then you have your sentiment on the back. So there's our cards for tonight. What do you guys think? Did you like them? I hope. Who else is on here? Thank you for the love. I see the hearts popping up. All right, let's move these things out of the way. Let's see if I can move this over a little bit. And then there is our card that we made. Let's see if I'm trying to get out of that light a little bit. Let's see. There we go. All right. I love them. So that's what we have for this evening. Thank you for joining me. And it's before 8 o'clock. And we did two kind of in-depth, a little extra on the cards, right? So I hope that you enjoyed these. I hope that you'll try these techniques, the 531 and the cross card that fits in an envelope. So again, that was Lynn Dunn at Stamptastic Design is who I got that from. All right, let's go back here and say thank you again for joining me this evening and watching all the way through. If you like the video, again, if you're watching YouTube, give me a thumbs up. That really helps so much. I appreciate it. Give me a comment too. That's great. All right. You guys have a fabulous evening. I appreciate everything. Thank you, Bobby. I'm glad you liked them. Appreciate that you're here. You took the time to spend with me. And I will see you next time. You guys have a fabulous rest of your evening and the rest of your weekend. All right. Bye-bye now.